Hey guys, it's Maymay, and I've done it again. I have caused some questions. I tend to do this, especially with my scoring technique. So many crafters do this different than I do, and that's fine. But I wanted to show you my thought process behind this. So, if you saw last week's video where I showed you how to score without the gap using our scoreboard, it raised some questions. And let me show you what that was. Most of the time, and I will say most of the time because I see it as well. Most of the time, you're going to see somebody scorecard base like this. They're going to put it into their scoreboard. They're going to score it where they want to fold it. For me, this is an A2, so that's 5.5. Then they're going to flip it over and fold. Okay, so let me do that. They're going to flip it over. We can still do our same technique here. Flip it over and fold, and then I'm going to crease this down. Now, this is not my preferred method, and I'm going to show you why. The reason that we score in the first place is to move the fibers, to redirect the fibers so we don't get cracks in our cards. That's the reason we do it, okay? When I score on top, flip it over, and fold like I just showed you, I get this bead inside of my card. Do you see that bead of paper? See how it's even kind of a bubble right there? You can see the bead. I don't love that. That's not my favorite. Now, I could be doing it wrong. I could not be very good at what I'm doing. I get that. Instead, for me, I like to do it the other way. The way I prefer to do it is to put my card base in, score it where I want to fold it, leaving it in my scoreboard with the fibers pushed into the crease of this piece, okay, of my board. I'm going to fold this piece over, line it up, and to get rid of the gap, I'm going to push it down now, you see. What this does is it does not give me that bead on the inside of my card. You see how it's not there? Let me bring the other one back over. See how you see the bead and you have no bead? So this is 100% personal preference, okay? It does not change the card enough for me to notice it anyway. I don't see anything different in my fold on the outside, but I do get that little chunkiness on the inside. Now, with some cardstocks like this, it's super lightweight. It makes no difference. But sometimes when you're using a thicker cardstock, it can really cause me a little bit of popping up on my card. Not the end of the world. Let me show you this, where you're going to see something that might feel like a difference, but I'm still going to do it the same way. This is a thicker piece of cardstock, much thicker. This is Brutus Monroe Alabaster cardstock. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to score this one at 5.5, just like I would with the other one I just showed you. But the difference here is I'm going to flip this over and score it again. I find with these super thick cardstocks that sometimes, because I use this kind of large bead, or either I use my Teflon bone folder, that I don't get a super crisp score. So doing this helps. Now still, I have scored on top last on this side, and this is going to be what I flip over and fold. The last place I scored, okay? Because I do not want that bead. I especially don't want that bead inside my thick cardstock. Look how flat it'll lay. Now again, this is personal preference. There is no hard and fast rule. There's no hard and fast rules in crafting. There just aren't, okay? That's how we learn new techniques, is by people stepping out of the box and trying things. So here's what I want to say to you. The biggest comment I always get, and it's not a bad comment, I totally respect it, is that you do this different from everyone I've ever seen. That is correct, okay? From what I have seen too. What I want to tell you is, 8 or so years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, I realized I was doing this different. So I started doing some research. And back in the day, I literally found some scoreboard companies that showed it both ways. There was one company that had a video showing the way I did it, and there were other companies that had videos showing the way that everybody tells me I'm supposed to do it. But here's what I want to tell you. You do what makes you happy. If you like your car scored a certain way, do that. And if you like it scored a different way, do that. I just want to take just a few minutes today to explain my process so that you could try it at home and see which one you like best. I promise you we'll still be able to make cards together and it'll be just fine. No one will ever notice. But it's just the way my brain works. And sometimes that's just the way things go. So there you go. My answer to why do you score wrong? It's probably more why do you fold wrong? I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm going to call this video. But there you go. I know we have a lot of new subscribers who haven't heard me say this before, so that's why I wanted to take the time to do it today and explain it, because I understand. It feels like I'm just not listening when people tell me something to do. I promise, I just kinda do what works for me. Alright, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, be sure to share this video with your friends that maybe are new to card making, and I'm gonna be trying to answer a lot more of your questions, that we see in the comments. I think it's real helpful, and I'm gonna do my best to do that. Thanks so much for watching today, guys, and until next time, bye-bye.